Hey there guys, it's Too Old for Gaming, and today we're on Brest West and I am playing as the NOV. We are going to be controlling the town and hopefully pushing on some of the enemy flags here. I do have some friendly divisions here to support us, which is nice. Initially I'm going to try to move my infantry into the flag area here, and then we're going to try to move in some equipment into this wooded area. It's always a great idea to set up an anti-tank gun here so you can see the reinforcement road. And then I also like to set up anti-aircraft guns over here because they have sight lines to shoot at enemy aircrafts coming in. So our infantry are arriving with a sniper leading the way. We can start to see enemy trucks entering the town. I am dismounting a little early because I was afraid of getting knocked out in my vehicle. To our left, we've got enemy units advancing, rushing in. I have to drop my 47mm field gun out in the open to try and knock some out. Excuse me, that's an anti-tank gun. The 65 is the field gun. So they're both in the open at the moment. In the town, we've managed to push them out. We've got some light armor support from the M8. I have Borshi troops who are going to go up and hold the front line up here. And then, but these 204s are putting down a lot of fire on my guys. We've got a Cromwell here to back us up. We'll see if this 47 can knock him out before he pins us. So we do manage to get him knocked out with a Cromwell. Thank you, Flying Roo. I have a 50mm anti-tank gun in the road, and then I've actually, you probably won't see this very often, but we're really limited on our anti-tank capability with this deck, so I've moved a howitzer to the front line because they do have 13 heat shells, and they're a raider trait, so they have exceptional stealth. So guys, you can use these cheap 45-point howitzers as AT guns and ambush them. So it looks like the enemy was trying to sneak in, but with all the M8s here, easily spotted. And our 50s almost set up in position. We still managed to take out a Panzer IV-G. Our Blinda's taking fire from a 45 over here. I just noticed it. Unfortunately, he gets knocked out. 50 mil firing at that T-34 leader. See if he can knock him out. And he does. Borshi up to the front lines here. We got a lot of light tanks heading our way, and then they're recovered by that 45 mil. We maintained control of our AT gun, so it's still up. He took a casualty, it appears. And then we've got our 65mm field gun out here, too. Friendly Rifles teams from the Flying Roo are chewing up these Shuma troops. Hopefully they can maintain their triple vetted. You'd think they would. So our howitzer is spotting that Tehran. Let's see if he can knock him out. He gets a penetration on him, so the next shot we'll be using our field howitzer to knock out a Tehran 1, if he can land it. That's the only thing about these heat shells. Typically, if you try and do this, they're quite inaccurate. And he's missing twice now. Our team here in the village is made of Bombasis who have the explosive shells. Now, we did manage to take out Tehran 1, by the way. And then I've got these recon teams of the dual breed of 30s and Molotovs with the 4 Berettas. These guys are super strong, these 12-man teams. And the Bombasis, if they get up close enough and they can throw that explosive shell, they can really knock out the enemy. So over here on our left, our 47's taking fire from all directions, but he has triple stars right now because of the Cromwell here. Let's see if he can do something. I did set indirect fire on this 45mm to try to knock out that gun. Unfortunately, our AT gun is knocked out. Let's zoom out here for a second. You can see I've got my 20mm here. I brought in another Blinda to help clear out these infantry. Our 50mm anti-tank gun's in an okay position, but would like to get him here eventually. And the Valkyrie teams are getting pinned by our Bombasis and the M8s, so hopefully we can surrender some or knock them out. The recon teams are spotting them down the road. He's brought in a lot of Valkyries, so we keep pinning him with these grenades. And hopefully that 75 is moderately accurate, so hopefully he can nail him. It looks like he had to move. Our 65mm is spotting this Tehran too, so hopefully he can... Now, he gets knocked out because that's got the 75mm high explosive howitzer on it. And I did move a boys AT rifle team to the front line, but he is spotted. So he's got to have infantry spotters somewhere around here. that we can't see yet. And unfortunately, our triple-vetted infantry over here get knocked out. We got ranger teams coming in from another player to help us. So hopefully we can retake these flags. It looks like they've really pushed us off. Firefly over here suppressing the enemy infantry and trying to force them back. We're locked in at a 16-12, though. Our left flank looking really strong. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here. 81mm mortar out in the open gets knocked out, but our sniper gets killed, and we get Nebelwerfer fire heading our way now, aiming for that 75mm 45-point howitzer. And he doesn't kill him off, but he does take out a few of the infantrymen there. Another Blinda is knocked out, probably by this Panzer IV. I missed it. I'm going to minimize this so you guys can see who's here. 16-12. Another Tehran 1 knocked out. I'm having to retreat these guys. They have nothing to deal with these 80mm frontal armor machine gun platforms. So we're going to pull them off until we get something to knock them down. But here comes some additional rocket fire. One almost hits the Cromwell. Maybe it did. I think it damaged him for sure. We're going to move these 47s into place to try and knock out that VK-18.01. Jagdpanzer here now. I did move up a 50mm into the woods here. Hopefully we can use that to take him out. So we do knock out the vehicle here. I believe that was a Cromwell who was supporting us. More Shuma going down to the Ranger teams over here, so hopefully we can clear them out. Anti-tank gun spotting the Hungarian flame troopers in the open. That 45mm seems to still be up. The Panzer IV-G is in the light woods here, and there's another one. We knock one out. Get another penetration, knock him out. So I'll be curious at the end of the match to see which guns did the most kills. If it was the 47mm, the 50mm, or the 65mm field guns. Jagdpanzer gets his loader knocked out, taking immense fire here. We've got all our guns on it. We got a 75 down here. We've got our 50mm, and then we got a 47. Can't quite penetrate. Let's see if he did damage to him. He's got light damage, but he is backing off because he's getting fully suppressed. Back over to the woods here. Our recon team has taken 2 casualties so far, but still alive. We did lose one Bombasi team and our AT team, but we'll move this one forward. Another blend in here to give some fire support, and have redirected the 75mm howitzer right on these Valkyries. The pretty small circle for a old 1928 field gun, I'm assuming. Artillery fire coming in our position now, hitting that 47mm. Our other one had been knocked out. I did bring up an S-35. I do not have any other tanks on this deck outside of a few S-35s to provide support. I have 2 of them here now. We also have a second 20mm, even though we haven't seen any aircraft yet. These things are really good for anti-infantry as well. And I'm not sure if the gun on the autocannon on this is the same gun or not. I mean, they're both Italian. They might be. T-34 takes a penetration from a Firefly, wisely backs off. We've captured the farm here and recaptured this entire area. Noticing our advancement, I am bringing in a lot of my own infantry so we can try and help capture this area. 1 minute left to go in Phase A. So more Bombasi teams, another recon team. We'll see if we can work with these Rangers to clear things out. We just don't really have light machine guns for the extended light woods here. If we do encounter Valkyries, they're going to have a distinct advantage against us in this type of terrain. 45mm goes down to the Cromwell 6. We're still being hit with artillery over here. I have gone ahead and taken my 45.75s and redirected them onto the Nebelwerfer or howitzer, whatever's over there, to try and knock them out. And our 50mm is almost in position. We'll probably end up side-shotting these Jagdpanzers. Not cheap units either. One of them goes down to a friendly unit, but it wasn't ours. I'm not sure who got him. I didn't see it get killed off here. Maybe it was us and it just didn't show up. 50mm. Gonna get there soon, and we should be able to take out that Jagdpanzer. Hopefully all this artillery fire did something here. You know, these are cheap units, but 8 rounds a minute's fairly decent. Panzer II in here, stopping our advance. Rangers are wisely avoiding these vehicles here. We do manage to take out that Pioneer with a Bombasi team. I'm holding these two back. I should use the fallback command on that, but I don't believe I noticed it. Martyr 3H is firing at Rangers trying to make their way into this farm here. Panzer 2C is spotting them. So we pretty much wiped this area. Another Blinde gets knocked out. I've redirected my artillery and all his equipment over here. He has a significant amount of infantry and tanks up here. Stewart's being a little cheeky, maybe tried to get a side shot here. You can see our 50 is now in position, so as soon as he gets there, be able to wipe out that Tehran. And he misses, so I guess not this time. Firefly shooting at that T-34 should be able to easily knock him out. Panzer II-C spotting the Rangers team. I'll need to pull these back, but the Panzer getting a little worried about the tanks coming in. Does it himself. Got another Blinde up here. Our Ranger teams don't have anything except for flamethrowers, maybe the satchel charge. Be able to take this guy out. Let's take a look in the woods and see what happens to him. Can't imagine you want to be barbecued like that, and we do get an ammo explosion or something. So I had called in a Hurricane. Hurricane's extremely slow, but the dual Vickers 40mm AP shells pretty decent at knocking out tanks. If you've watched me play the NOV in the past, I've used them to great effect. JU-88A4 coming in. We got a Crusader here to help us out too. Some 40 mils. Luckily for us, he does not make it to his bombing zone.
The engine is overheating, and so am I.
Another 47mm goes down. I'm assuming to artillery fires. You can see some explosions here. I had redirected. I'm basically manually redirecting to do counter battery. 50mm just out of range through these vehicles, but should come back in. Getting close to taking this intersection. We're in Phase B. About 2 minutes in. Let's take a look at the rest of the map since we haven't checked it out today. Elite enemy infantry with satchel charges and grenade bundles heading our way. We'll probably take this area. I don't see any armor to kill them off, but the scouts are doing a pretty good job here. We've really done an amazing job of using special forces to push the enemy all the way back. They do still control the hilltop here, but the M5 gun may be able to take out that Tiger right now. We'll see if that happens before we move back. And he does, so this area could be ripe for the picking. 17-11. So, enemy has decided to bring in some heavy machine guns to fire at the infantry in the town here. Looks like our 75 got a heat round off, and I saw an explosion, so I guess we blew up a tank over here. 50mm was suppressed from the artillery. We're in quite close, under 1,000 meters. If this Jagdpanzer pops his head out at all, probably be able to knock him out, but he's getting spotted by machine guns now, so... But the P-37's coming in to bomb their position. Holy cow. That's not a good day for Germany. I did bring in a Baltimore to try and clean up as well when I saw that. We've got 400 or 500-pound bombs. The FW-190 trying to take us down before we can release them, but we managed to get them off. And we'll see if they killed anything at the end. He might have gotten that Jagdpanzer. So you can see by having 2 sectors of fire here, we've really managed to blow up a lot of enemy equipment. 75 in the front lines continuing to fire at enemy equipment, direct fire. So that heat shell should blow one of those up. Let's see, it does. See if he can reload fast enough to get the second one. We'll see if the Baltimore with his 450 cals can do something to this Tehran too. I'm not sure if it's possible, but we'll give it a shot. Barely any suppression, so if you want to try and hit tanks, he's got strong top armor, so... I'm guessing you'd do quite a bit more if it had weak top armor. So, killing another Shuma team. We still got a few units left here. You can see we took massive amounts of artillery fire here. We're just off this flag. We got a ton of infantry pushing forward, so I'm sure this is saturated with enemy here as well. I've moved up a 50mm anti-tank gun so we can get better vision down this road here. And I've got something else pulled in here. What is that? Oh, the Baltimore's coming back around to hit the Sturmgrunds. Again, outside of just direct bombing, don't seem to really use these guys with their front-facing machine guns very often for strafing. But we'll see if it does any casualties to them. So, yeah, it's amazing how much ground firing 50 cals do to suppress, but four 50 cals at incredible rate of fire from the air does almost nothing. That doesn't seem right, but that might be a game balance thing. So we're barely holding on after taking tons of fire here. I've got the Jersnickies here who have 3 Beretta M38 submachine guns and Molotov cocktails. They start with 2, but we burned down the house over here. So that guy's got 1 left. Defense team over here. Ooh, man, Sturm Tiger just trying to eliminate our position and doing a fairly decent job of taking out our equipment. So SPW-231 trying to break us. But our 50 mil can spot him here, and we knock him out. If we get one any further, the Bofors would knock him out, but I think the Bofors is about to get knocked out by the Sturm Tiger. So we do surrender to the SPW-231. And motorized rifles goes down. Bofors still up. I did place an attack beacon on the Sturm Tiger. But the Tempest coming in with a clutch move, knocking out some of those shock troops. It's a 19-9 with 4 minutes to go. More Nebelwer for fire on our position as he tries to bring in trucks. Very smart move. He fully suppresses the AT gun over here, but doesn't realize he's going to need a whole lot more fire to suppress this sector. And his trucks are out in the open, so we'll see what happens here. So again, using the 45.75 millimeters for counter battery. Ju-88A4 coming in. Great aircraft, by the way. Used them in my last video to great effect as the Hungarians. I think he's just ground firing here. With all these Hellcats and Cromwells in, though, he's probably going to need to retreat. Aircraft darn near hit us, but he suppresses his own guys. 75 mil out in the open. Going to try and take out that Cromwell if he spots him. And unfortunately he does, so we lose a leader and we drop in our veterancy, making us a little bit slower. And we're running low on ammo over here. Only 2 high explosive shells left for this gun. This one still has 17. We got 88s in here now, so we're not really going to be very effective at bringing our bombers back in. We've got it at 1810, though. Schuma's coming back in to flip the flag here. And we're just off this one, but these guys are almost taking it until the off-mag came in. Those are pretty big rounds here. Maybe 172.5s. Schuma's all pinned down out in the open. Another 50 mil goes down over here. 75 getting fired on by the Tiger. I did bring in more 50 mil M38s. Oh, man, that is brutal. Our 45-point howitzer goes down. I did bring in a triple-vetted Brita M37 to keep these guys pinned. Less than a minute to go in Phase B, and at the current tick rate, less than 2 minutes till the end of the match. Another Cromwell goes down over here, and whew, man, that Sturm Tiger is doing a lot of damage. I've got a lot of respect for the Sturm Tiger unit. I've seen it do massive amounts of damage to enemies. It is definitely something you want to target with everything you've got, because he will wipe your infantry and fixed emplacements out quickly. Autocar and Cromwell 6 coming to the front lines here, but about to get hit by this. And another rifles team goes down. Motorized rifles leader is fully suppressed. Smoke drop over here from the leader so he doesn't get killed out in the open as he's pinned by that massive explosion. Our machine gun set up just out of view of the enemy equipment, so we're able to keep it going. Borschi's still firing with their ZB-30s. Our vehicles over here ended up getting wiped. They brought a Blinda in. These guys have Panzerschrecks and use smoke to try to knock us out, but we did cap that flag, so it's a 19-9. Autocar's gonna die. My Borschi almost died too. I mean, oof. JU-188E1 coming in. He might die. We have a lot of anti-aircraft, and he does. Commandos shooting at the Bombasi. Definitely gonna win that with the 2 light machine guns. If he makes it over here, though, he'll get blown up. Panther bouncing rounds off of our light AT guns. Are 50 still out, set up? Can you take out the swim? Nope. Still a Jagdpanzer here. 2 seconds to go, and the match is over. That was a quick one. We have a minor victory at 21 minutes and 7 seconds. Let's take a look at the team stats here and see how we did on our end. So we killed off 12-11 and lost 8-30. Taking a look at our kills here, I mean, these are light guns, so if you set them up effectively, they can be very effective in the game. 47mm light anti-tank gun, very cheap unit, takes out a lot of vehicles. The 50mm outdated anti-tank gun does the same, even a truck. This other 50mm takes out 2 trucks and 2 tanks. Our direct fire took out a flamethrower team. We also got all these vehicles using that 45 point with heat rounds. I'm assuming most of these are heat. The munition truck is probably from that indirect fire when we were trying to find the enemy firing at us. Recon team with their Molotovs did good against the Valkyries. Yeah, those recon teams are 12-man recon teams are super solid. And then again here, our 45.75mm howitzer on the front lines takes out a couple units, and then we did bring in a 75. I think I only brought in 1. He managed to take out a couple guys. Machine gun took us out a guy, and then I did bring in, I want to say, 1 100mm howitzer after I ran out of 75s in Phase B, and that took out one of those 88s. So for losses, Coastal Gun took out a couple units, Tehran took out a couple, 45 took out a couple, the rocket truck took out a few, again, Coastal Gun. They had a Pack 40 that took out several units, but overall, no real heroes on the enemy team going up against us. We actually did, as the NOV, 13% of the kills in the game with 10% of the casualties. So 21 minutes, that was a fun one. High intensity, quick match. I love those. And I love all the support I got from the team. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Keep watching my videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.